Raise your hand if you have ever made a to-do list only to instantly feel overwhelmed by it, so you end up in freeze mode, getting absolutely nothing done. You are not alone, my friend. In this episode, I'm breaking down why traditional to-do lists don't work for busy working moms like you and how they can actually increase overwhelm and frustration, and then what to do about that. You start with the best intentions, writing everything down that you need to get done. But by lunchtime, you realize you've barely checked anything off. And suddenly that list feels more like a burden than a helpful tool. Am I right or am I right? I'm Laura, a time management strategist who helps busy working moms just like you ditch the hot mess and level up your work-life balance using a proven time management framework. And if you are already resonating with this episode, you need to head over to thelauraddavis.com/workweek to join my free 5-day Master Your Work Week challenge. Over 100 women have already taken this challenge, and it has transformed their work week, their to-do list, and their work-life balance. So I'll see you over there. All right, let's dig into this episode. Real talk for just a second before we get into the content. If you're watching this, this is being published on the day that I fly out for a week-long business trip for my corporate job. I'm going to the other side of the country, and it's tough as a working mom. It's just tough. It's tough getting all of the things done that need to get done, like packing and doing your nails before you leave and spending time with your kids and spending time with your husband. It's tough. So if you're a working mom out there and you travel for work, just know that you are not alone. I'm feeling you right now because I am in the midst of a work trip. And it's tough not only being away from your family and your kids, but being in different time zones where I'll be in meetings while Harper's getting ready for bed. And that's just the reality of it this week. I'm so incredibly lucky that Zach is an amazing husband and an amazing partner. And so I have absolutely no worries or concerns. Like he is the captain of the ship. And I'm very lucky to have that. And I'm very lucky that I don't have to spend half of my prep time trying to make sure that the wheels don't come off the car while I'm gone, because he truly can just handle everything. So just a side personal note, if you're a working mom and you travel, it's hard. It is hard. So, all right, we're going to dig into it now. Let's start off by identifying 3 of the biggest mistakes that I see working moms making with their to-do lists. So the first mistake that I see that is really common is overestimating what you can accomplish in a single day. Many of us are overly ambitious. I'm an Enneagram 3. I joke that I'm a purebred Enneagram 3. I have no wings, but I think I'm actually a 3 wing 4. But I'm also a manifesting generator. I'm also just a really high overachiever. And so many of us tend to be overly ambitious, and we try to cram our entire to-do list with far more tasks than we can realistically complete. And, I'm just as guilty of this. Like I said, as an Enneagram 3, any of my other Enneagram 3s, you'll know what I'm talking about. But by midday, we start to feel the weight of these unmet expectations from our to-do list not getting done the way that we feel like it should get done, or how fast we feel like it should get done. And that really leads to a lot of discouragement and a lot of frustration for us, and ultimately burnout too. The second most common mistake that I see is a lack of prioritization or alignment with your goals from your to-do list. So not all tasks are created equal. And if you don't have a really clear system for prioritizing what actually moves the needle in your life and in your business, then you'll spend time on low impact tasks while the other important ones get pushed to the side. And there's a really good reason for this. The reason for this is that sometimes those low impact tasks can feel really comfortable for you, right? And we sometimes would rather stay in a comfortable place that doesn't get us anywhere then push ourselves outside of our comfort zone so that we can grow and become a better version of ourselves and become that next level version of ourselves. So that could be a reason why you might be staying stuck in some of the low impact tasks on your to-do list. Now, the third mistake that I see is adding tasks continuously throughout the day. So this, if you are somebody who like you just have a running, never ending to-do list and you're constantly adding things to it, and just adding things to it, adding things to it, this creates the never ending list that keeps growing and growing and growing. So instead of you feeling accomplished at the end of the day, you feel like you're always behind and like you can never catch up. So, what does a smarter to-do list look like? Well, now that we've talked about what doesn't work, let's talk about what does work. All right, the first thing that works is my first tip for you is to separate your to-do list into categories. So I like to have three main categories. You can have more or less depending on your life circumstances. The first one is work. So this will be like your corporate job, or if you have part-time work, basically you working for someone else, that will be your work category. And then also your personal category. So this is for everything that has to do with your life personally, your family, your friends, your social life, your hobbies, your health, anything like that is under the personal list. And then there's business. So if you are a business owner, if you run a business, then you will also have a list of business tasks. So instead of one long, overwhelming list, break your tasks into categories. This can help you see where your time is going and also prevent work tasks from spilling into personal life and vice versa. The second thing that works for you is to be honest about your available time and energy that you have in any given day or week. So instead of looking at your to-do list as something that needs to be done in one day, focus on what's truly achievable in the time that you have. So just because you write something down on your to-do list today doesn't mean that it has to get done today. Maybe you write something down on your to-do list, but you actually don't need to do it until next Friday. That's totally okay. Give yourself that permission in that space to not have to get something done today just because you wrote it down today. And really ask yourself, do I truly have to do this right now? Or is this something that I can actually push off a week or two so that I can focus on things that are actually a high priority right now? And then number 3, don't work from your to-do list. So what I see a lot of working moms do is they will have a notebook, like pen and paper notebook, and they will write out their entire to-do list. And then they'll be working throughout the day and working. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I have 10 minutes. Let me see if I can knock something off of my to-do list. And so they'll open up their to-do list and they'll start like looking through it. And then by the time they pick something out to do, they only have 5 minutes left of that 10-minute break that they had. And so they spend so much time trying to decide what to work on by working from their to-do list that it actually wastes more time than giving your to-do list a strategic approach. And so I want to give you a real life personal example from me. I used to keep a running to-do list in a notebook, writing everything down that I needed to do all the time. It literally was just page upon page upon page upon page of just to-dos. And it was nothing else got written down in this notebook. Nothing. It was just a to-do list notebook. And it was pages. And there were things crossed off, but it was very sporadic. And I kept asking myself, like, I wish that there was a way I could do control find, like you can do on your laptop, but on my written list so that I could actually find things that I was looking for. And I would constantly add new things throughout the day. I would cross off completed ones, but it was almost like it felt like I was busy, but never quite able to get caught up on my to-do list. And in reality, I was just creating this endless cycle of being overwhelmed because even though I was crossing things off, I was adding things even faster. So almost like that analogy, brushing your teeth while eating Oreos. That's kind of how it felt with my to-do list at that time. So again, just like the example I said, at one point, I remember in the middle of my workday on my lunch break, I was like, okay, I have a few extra minutes. I'm going to flip through my list and I'm going to see if there are a few things that I can get done. And I was flipping through my list and I was trying to decide on which task to tackle. And it came down to like a couple of different tasks. And I kept going back and forth in my head, like, oh, well, I should do this one right now because of X, Y, and Z reason. Or like, wait, hold on. No, never mind. I need to do this one because of A, B, and C reason. And I kept arguing with myself, but I wasted half of that time trying to figure out what to do. And it felt like I was just, again, always busy, but never actually making meaningful progress. Have you ever felt that way where like you feel like you did a whole bunch of stuff that day, but at the end of the day, you're like, what did I actually accomplish? That's the feeling whenever you work from a to-do list. So another really great analogy is to picture you doggy paddling in the deep end of the pool. You're not drowning, but you're also not really having fun, right? Like you're not dying, but you're not enjoying yourself. And that's exactly what my to-do list felt like. But here's the thing. A few years ago, that all changed because I started using a strategic approach to my to-do list. And so now I plan my week in advance, I organize my tasks, and I create a game plan for getting as much done as possible without burning myself out. Because for me, what is most important right now is keeping myself healthy, but still being able to be productive and work full time, be a mom and run a business and be a wife. So instead of scrambling, I know exactly what needs to be done and when. And so the difference is that I'm actually getting my list done now. And sometimes I'm even getting it done ahead of schedule, which is such an amazing feeling. And I'm no longer dropping balls left and right or feeling like I'm barely keeping my head above the water. Instead, I'm feeling in control of my time. I'm feeling confident in my ability to manage everything on my plate, which is such an amazing feeling as a working mom. I'm not waking up at 2 a.m. anymore with my heart racing, realizing that I forgot something the day before, that I needed to add it to my list of things to urgently get done first thing in the morning whenever I wake up from whatever little sleep I'm getting. I'm not sitting at the kitchen table painting with Harper, thinking about the things that I need to get done around the house. I'm present and I'm enjoying time with her. And that's really what has been the most impactful about changing the approach that I have to my to-do list is that now when I'm with her, I'm not distracted by all the things that I need to get done. And you can experience that exact same transformation. So if you have listened to this episode so far and you're like, I literally I can resonate with every single thing that you've said, Laura, you're in my head right now. If you are feeling like you are tired of your to-do list running the show, it's time for you to take back control of your to-do list. And that's exactly why I created my free Master Your Work Week challenge. This is a 5-day free challenge. It is designed to help you, the working mom, build a to-do list system that actually works for your busy life. Because as working moms, we have a very unique life. We have a very unique degree of busyness, I will say. And that's why I created Master Your Work Week Challenge. And in just a few days, it is literally a 5-day challenge. You will learn how to plan your week strategically, eliminate decision fatigue, and finally feel in control of your to-do list. And like I said, the best part is that it is completely free. So you can sign up for the challenge at thelauraddavis.com/workweek. And each lesson, 5 days, is less than 15 minutes. And it's going to give you some really quick wins. Over 100 women have been through Master Your Work Week Challenge so far. And it has literally transformed the way that they manage their to-do list and how much they're able to be productive while still being happy, healthy, and present in their families' lives. So I hope to see you in the challenge. I'm in there all the time answering questions behind the scenes. So I'm there to support you in this free challenge. And I will see you in the next episode.